Thank you very much, Stephanie. It's wonderful. You see so many of you here. Is this working?
Yes.
So playing tricks. It's nice to see so many of you here. I've never seen such a well-behaved group. Everybody's sitting along the side with a box of lunch. It's like a grade 6 dance. With girls on one side, girls on the other side. All the boys from the blue dance. It's very good to be here. Stephanie, thank you. Irene from Avalon Sexual Assault Center, who has been undoubtedly very busy the last number of weeks, as she always has been, and as her crew have been. Chief J.M. Blade, wonderful to see you here today. I see Deputy Chief Bill Moore is with us as well. Our Public Safety Officer, Scott McDonald. Our former Public Safety Officer, Don Spicer, I didn't recognize it just till now. Thank you. I think, who was I see Roland Wells, our Chief Superintendent of the RCMP, here as well. And ladies and gentlemen, who many of you who are in the front lines of the fight against sexualized violence, sexual assault, and violence against women. I appreciate you being here, and I appreciate the greeting from Marilyn via Stephanie. We had, Marilyn Moore, Minister Moore, and I had a chance to meet earlier this week to talk about how our different jurisdictions can deal with these issues in the months and years ahead, and those are discussions I've had with the Chief, with the Chief Superintendent, and with others. I just want to talk a little bit personally, and you know, we're all familiar. I remember we met, many of us here, on December the 6th, the Day of Remembrance for Violence Against Women. And I'm glad you're back. I hope that by next December the 6th and through this month, that we will see more positive news on this issue. I think it's fair to say that, you know, for everybody in this room, that Rehtaeh Parsons is on our minds. And it shouldn't take an incident to bring attention to a cause. But as mayor, and more particularly as a father of two, including a daughter who's the same age as Rehtaeh would be, I'm deeply saddened by the hurt that she experienced and by the immeasurable pain that her loss has caused to those who loved and knew her. The tragic loss of young life has resonated with everybody who's heard the story, here in Halifax and around the world. While officials look to better understand the circumstances that contribute to her death, we all know that through the brave efforts of her family and friends and others, that she has galvanized the community and encouraged victims of sexual assault to tell their stories, to seek legal redress and support. This is her legacy, but it is ours as well. It's time to ask hard questions in pursuit of what will likely be difficult truths. But I do hope that we honor Rehtaeh's memory and others by ensuring that we meet the challenge that is before us as a community. Victims of sexual assault are less likely to report to police than victims of other crimes, we know that. The 2009 General Social Survey found that 88% of sexual assaults were not reported to police. Think about what that means in our municipality, where there is an average of 1 sexual assault reported each day. Sexualized violence is an insidious issue that calls for a broad response and a shared accountability. As parents, we must raise our children to understand what constitutes consent. As citizens, as friends and colleagues, we must not be bystanders when we believe that such violence has occurred. We must condemn it with a common voice while we support the victims with compassion. Sexualized violence is not simply a policing issue, or a prosecution issue, or a criminal code issue. It is an issue for all levels of government, regardless of our jurisdictional responsibilities, as well as an issue for our schools, our universities, our shared community, our mental health, our public health, and so many others. Surely we can come together now to speak out forcefully against sexualized violence and work to prevent it. That is what we are called to do. I'd like to read the proclamation proclaiming Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Whereas Sexual Assault Awareness Month is intended to draw attention to the fact that sexualized violence is widespread and impacts every community member of the Halifax Regional Municipality. And HRM has one of the highest rates of sexualized violence per capita in Nova Scotia and has the lowest sexual assault reporting and charge rates. And as a community, HRM recognizes that education, preventing and not committing sexualized violence, not being a bystander to sexual abuse and assault, supporting survivors and speaking out against harmful attitudes is everybody's responsibility. And with leadership, dedication, and by working together, there is evidence that we can be successful in preventing sexual violence in HRM through increased education, awareness, action, and community involvement. And HRM strongly supports the efforts of national, provincial, and local partners, and of every citizen to actively engage in public and private efforts to prevent sexualized violence. We must move forward together to start conversations, take appropriate action, and support one another to create a safer environment and community for all. Therefore, be it resolved that I am Mayor Mike Savage, on behalf of Halifax Regional Council and all of its citizens, to hereby proclaim May 2013 as Sexual Assault Awareness Month. I want to thank everybody who's on the front lines, everybody who's providing support. We are all affected. We all need to step forward. We all need to make a difference.